Welcome back to Celebrity Fun Zone, the only place where we take pop culture way too seriously, so you don't have to. Today, we are witnessing a new peak in the mountain of petty. I'm talking about the legendary, never-ending, and frankly exhausting feud between Jimmy Kimmel and the world's most persistent trespasser, Matt Damon. Most people, when they're banned from a place, just go home and reflect on their life choices. Not Matt. No, Matt Damon has officially graduated from unwelcome guest to actual criminal because he just committed literal trespassing on national television. At this point, I'm pretty sure the only way to keep Matt Damon out of the building is to surround the studio with a moat of lava, and even then, he'd probably try to hang glide over it while holding a movie poster. He is desperate. People. He's like that one ex who keeps showing up to your birthday party uninvited, but instead of flowers, he brings a high-budget film production. The chaos kicked off during a perfectly normal episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jimmy is just trying to do his job, talking about Father's Day and pool noodles riveting stuff. I know, and suddenly, stage hands wheeling a giant wooden Trojan Horse. Now, if you've ever read a book, or at least watched a movie with sandals in it, you know exactly what's about to happen. Jimmy is standing there, looking genuinely confused, probably wondering if he accidentally ordered a very large, very expensive lawn ornament from Amazon. He's trying to reject the delivery, but the delivery guy is insisting he signs for it. There is tequila on the floor, confusion in the air, and a giant wooden horse looming over the audience. And then, the moment of glory. Out bursts Matt Damon. He doesn't just walk out. He emerges like he's actually saved the Greeks from certain defeat. He looks like he's been fermenting in cedar chips for 3 days, and his first move is to declare that he has traveled far and wide through waves and warred to save the audience from mediocrity. I mean, the sheer ego of this man. Jimmy immediately calls it what it is, trespassing. He's asking how long Matt has been hiding in that horse, and Matt's just there, breathing in the stage lights like they're oxygen. It is the saddest, most elaborate break-in in Hollywood history. But wait, it gets even more mature. Once the shock of the Trojan Horse wore off, these two multi-millionaires immediately devolved into a playground argument that would make a group of toddlers look like Supreme Court justices. Matt is there to promote his new movie, which we'll get to in a second, but the conversation turns south fast. Matt decides to take a massive, lowbrow shot at Jimmy's lineage. He makes this dirty Trojan condom joke, suggesting that Jimmy's dad should have used a Trojan on his little wiener instead of having Jimmy. Now, most people would roll their eyes at such a weak pun, but not Jimmy. Jimmy Kimmel, in front of his live studio audience and millions of viewers at home, decides to aggressively and furiously defend his father's anatomy. He literally shouts, "My father has a huge penis," while Matt just laughs and claims his mom said Matt's was bigger. I want you to imagine winning an Oscar, being one of the most bankable stars in the world, and then spending your Tuesday night arguing about the size of a talk show host's father's junk. This is what peak performance looks like, folks. But the real highlight of this dumpster fire was the duel. Earlier in the show, Jimmy was talking about the humble pool noodle. Well, Matt decides to turn those foam tubes into weapons of war. These two grown men with mortgages and responsibilities started an actual physical duel using pool noodles on stage. It was chaotic, it was loud, and it was deeply, deeply embarrassing. Matt is screaming about his noodle being hard and how he'll noodle all day long, while Jimmy is swinging back and telling Matt his noodle is soft. Matt's defense? That's not what your mom said. Original, truly. I'm just wondering how many people in the crew were watching this and thinking about how they went to film school just to watch the guy from Good Will Hunting get smacked with a neon green foam stick. The most ridiculous part of this entire saga is the length Matt Damon went to. just to set up the punchline. He claims he did this whole movie specifically so he could sneak into the room in a Trojan Horse and make that condom joke. The movie is called The Odyssey, and apparently, Matt is so hungry for Jimmy's attention that he will literally star in a film based on Greek mythology just to get 30 seconds of uninvited airtime. It's the ultimate loser move. He's trespassing, he's insulting parents, he's fighting with pool noodles, and he's doing it all for a show that he's technically been banned from for over a decade. So, congratulations to Matt Damon. You made it onto the show. You got your 30 seconds. You also told the whole world you're obsessed with Jimmy's dad's wiener, and you got beat up with a piece of foam. Was it worth it? Probably, because Matt Damon will clearly do absolutely anything, even destroy his own dignity just to get one over on Jimmy. Go see The Odyssey on July 17th, I guess, if only to help fund the legal fees for Matt's next inevitable restraining order. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the most pathetic feuds in Hollywood.